Hi everyone, Serene from Advocate Me. My computer has gone into a bit of a shutdown, so I'm using my phone to make this video. I wanted to update you about what has happened this week. Thank you so much for last week, particularly for Reignite Democracy and all the clients that rallied behind me by sending hundreds of messages to Justice Forbes in relation to the hearing that proceeded on Thursday with the viewpoint to adjourn the matters for today. Now, what had happened last week is that the Victorian Legal Services Board, without allowing me the time for my right of appeal, lifted up the phone to the Supreme Court of Victoria and basically organised a hearing to proceed, a full hearing where I was expected to put full submissions and affidavit evidence within 3 hours, business hours. I had protested to Justice Forbes. She only allowed till the next morning, and I did some further protesting whereby she had asked that I should turn up to ask for an adjournment. During that proceeding last week, Ms. Papaleo, Victorian Legal Services Board, and every other associate to the board, specifically the manager, Mr. Jacob Uljans, who's been appointed by the VLSB to basically really force himself on myself and the clients of the firm without their approval. Now, during the course of last week's proceedings, I smashed Ms. Papaleo and smashed the Victorian Legal Services Board, and I don't say that lightly. And for that reason, the judge decided that there should be a question of law to be determined with all the other injunctive relief that they were seeking to muzzle me completely, to access my servers, all emails relating to clients. Now, the judge, Justice Forbes, decided that that is a question of law. I did a video where I don't think it's a question of law. I don't think there's any dispute here that without client approval, the manager cannot have access to the files. But she did put that as question of law, and with respect, I sought to make submissions and organise affidavits, both myself and the clients, who are extremely anxious at having all the details provided to the manager, being not just their names, but all the other details, their information, their date of birth, address, email address, account numbers that could fully identify them. The judge did say, am I averse to providing financial records? I'm not averse to doing that. Obviously, there was an audit that was ongoing, and those financial records would have been provided to Uljans in good faith to show that I hadn't actually done anything wrong here, and there's no allegations levelled against me in that way. Well, those financials were provided, but that was not enough. That was not enough for the VLSB and not enough for Mr. Jacob Uljans. Persistently during this week, I have been continuously harassed by Jacob Uljans, knowing that there was a hearing of the matters scheduled today. Now, I received an email from Mr. Uljans, and I responded to him and I said, look, if we're going to refund the clients the money, they'd be prepared to provide their information on one or two conditions. That you provide an undertaking that you would not give that information to the Victorian Legal Services Board because of the fears. It's simple. He's presenting himself as allegedly independent. And so I put that to him clearly, that he can actually get that information and process the refunds urgently for the clients based on an undertaking. Or alternatively, put a third-party trust examiner who everyone trusts, a very trusted accountant, to then do the job of refunding all the money from the trust account. Well, I received a shocking email yesterday whereby they're requesting an adjournment. They're requesting an adjournment till the 4th of June. Almost 5-week adjournment that they're requesting when they were beating down my doors last week about the urgency of the injunction, about how I couldn't even have one more day. When I had asked Justice Forbes for 10 days, I was basically told that any other commitments I had were irrelevant and that court schedule trumps any other schedule. Well, the Victorian Legal Services Board weren't ready. Clearly weren't ready for another match, but I was. They'd asked a new judge that all of a sudden has been appointed. Justice Forbes is nowhere to be seen. There's a new judge on the scene. No reason was specifically provided as to why there wasn't a continuity of an existing judge that I believe was really preferring my arguments to the arguments of the VLSB. Well, Supreme Court was very quick to remove Justice Forbes and place another judge, who Justice Richards, who basically allowed the Victorian Legal Services Board to come back on the 4th of June. I put to Justice Richards that is very prejudicial. In fact, I want to have this debate with the Victorian Legal Services Board. I want to actually challenge them on all the questions of law, whether the client's approval is necessary or not, whether privacy is important in this country, whether confidentiality goes out the door, and whether Mr. Jacob Uljan thinks he's me in the absence of a trustee, administratorship or receivership relationship, where he thinks he can just break through my door, ask anyone for information related to me, and then that's okay, without a court order. I think that's a question of law that should be immediately determined. And I said that to Justice Richards. I said, I'm very keen to go to court with the VLSB. Last week, they were super keen. In fact, the Supreme Court gave them 3 hours and then gave me 6 hours to be prepared and then 7 days. And now, because the Victorian Legal Services Board asks the Supreme Court jump, and they say how high. Oh, they got their adjournment till the 4th of June. Apparently they got their adjournment for 4th of June, and Jacob Uljan and the VLSB denied an undertaking to be given. Denied it. Said they won't give an undertaking. He won't give an undertaking to reassure the clients for that. They want to hold on to that money. And what do they want to do? The Victorian Legal Services Board, funded primarily by Victorian Government, they want to put hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars into public notices in all the newspapers to plead with the clients of Advocate Me to come to them and give them all the information because they're angels to be trusted. And it's me that's the devil. Public notices and the Supreme Court of Victoria allowing this nonsense to go on. So I said to the Supreme Court, Justice, it's prejudicial. It's prejudicial. I want to go to court. I want to go to court as early as possible. In fact, if you're going to adjourn it, I'll only allow till the 7th of May. But apparently, when the Victorian Legal Services Board and the Victorian Government says something is urgent, it is. And when they say it's not, all of a sudden it becomes not. When they want to spend of your money, the Victorian Government and the Victorian Legal Services Board wants to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars into an expedition, a fishing expedition, a witch hunt. No one bats an eyelid in this country. Not one barrister or solicitor truly and genuinely offers their services. A remarkable case, precedential case. It's clear as day that this is a governmental mobbing. And I can't even call them government, they're pirates. Because this is only what pirates do. So they got their adjournment till the 4th of June. All of a sudden, they don't want to come to court with me. They don't want to come to court with me. Because I'm going to put them on the witness stand. Serene Teffaha's going to cross-examine, and you by hell don't want to be cross-examined by Serene Teffaha. That's right, I'm going to put my appeal against the VLSB, and guess who's going to be the witnesses? The judges that have used my most vulnerable clients' cases and aired them everywhere. Ray Small from VLSB and Jacob All Jones, and everybody knows every bit of information about all this, protected information about my clients, about child sexual abuse cases and family violence. Well, we're going to have a show. It's going to be a circus. I'm going to pay first-class tickets to Magistrate Get. Come on, I'll fly you down from Queensland and you can go in the witness box. I'm going to ask you a few questions, Deputy Chief Magistrate Get, about your complaint about me and hiding child sexual abuse disclosures. How about that in VCAT? I reckon that's the best jurisdiction. What about you, Chief Justice Ulstergren? Using my poor client without her permission, her case file saying it's closed when it's open. You being so involved in her assassination as a mother. Using her case when her ex called me up and said she'll be bashed and stabbed. I'll put you on the witness box. Put you in the witness box, Chief Justice Ulstergren, for using that case. Where all of your justices, where all of your judges ganged up on me because I'm speaking about protection of family violence, of a child that needs to be back with his mother. I'll put you all in the witness box and cross-examine you for the scum that you are, for the absolute scum that you all are. You say I can't be a lawyer when I am the best of lawyers. You will all be challenged and you will all come undone for everything that you are doing, not just to me, but to all the people that you've wronged and that you think you can get away with this. But this is my circus and all of you are my monkeys.